Thanks for joining us for Khari Free at Last on Bounce23 TV. I'm Khari Enaharo. The closing of Carl Brown's IGA, the demolition of Pondexter Village, the sale of historic St. Paul AME Church, and massive improvements in the highway system around these areas. Is this code for a major population change on the Near East Side of Columbus? Joining me is TalkTainmentRadio.com host Yolanda Robinson, Reverend John Coates, and community spokeswoman Nana Watson. Wow, Yolanda Robinson. What's the S stand for?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Yeah.
In the Bible.
In the Bible.
So I have to be very biblical, don't I?
That's right,
Bishop.
All right. All right, gentrification, John. For those who have never heard this term, what does it mean, and is it impacting the Near East Side?
Gentrification means that you move one group of people out and you move another group of people in.
Who's being moved out?
Well, generally what's being moved out is black folks are being moved out, and poor, impoverished, decaying areas, and then white people
Racial
move in.
Replacement?
Yes.
Oh, what
Yes.
do you mean?
You know, it's like you use a code word called highway improvements. Well, where historically we know when highways have come in, highways have divided our community, have been used to cut our neighborhoods
And they're
right
doing
in half.
massive work right now.
Right, highway
Nana,
improvements.
what does this mean? What does gentrification mean in our neighborhoods?
Just what Brother John said. It means that some are moving out and others are moving in. African Americans are the ones that are being moved out.
They're being pushed out?
They're being pushed out because they cannot afford the mortgage. So the other hue is coming in because they can get loans from banks to improve their homes.
Lonnie, St. Paul AME is up for sale again.
It's the
now,
worst.
you're a God-fearing woman.
It's the worst period.
Anyway.
This is the
I'm sorry.
worst.
You know,
I'm sorry.
Methodists don't speak in tongues.
Khari,
Yes,
this
yes.
is the worst. This is the worst period in the history of black folks in Columbus, Ohio, in
Why?
my opinion.
Why?
Because if St. Paul can sustain itself for 200 years, and now we're talking about it's up for sale, we have all these educated people, we have all this resources, more than we had when we were in slavery. And at this point, period in our history, the oldest black church in Columbus, Ohio,
been allowed
is
to
up
go
for
down.
sale.
Yeah.
We need to understand the history on how our ancestors was able to keep the church versus...
And that's such nice... and it's such nice
John,
and polite
who wants this property?
Who wants the
Yeah,
property?
who
well,
wants
first
the
of all,
property?
as pointed out, it is the oldest black church in Columbus,
1823,
Ohio. The second oldest black
1823,
church,
yeah.
for a point of information, is Second Baptist Church. But this is the oldest one. But it's also at the back door downtown.
Oh.
It's black-owned property that's at the back door of downtown Columbus, Ohio. And we know the story of how downtown expanded into Columbus State and then CCAD.
Oh, John,
this is
no.
right at the door.
No, John, that can't be true.
It's a property.
That can't be
It's
true,
a
Nana.
property
Nana, that's
grab.
not true. Tell me that's not true, Nana.
I think it's true, Khari.
Oh.
I think it's true.
You
You
gonna
got
break my
Columbus
heart.
State. I'm sorry. You got Columbus State. You got CCAD. You've got a lot of people. That's prime property in Columbus, and it's the gateway to the east side. So what's that tell us?
Oh, so that tells us that there is indeed a massive shift.
Yeah, there's
Really?
a movement. There's a movement afoot.
To take the black folk out and bring who in?
The people of other hues.
Well, the people
not
that
of
have been
ours.
the people that have been moving into the area. Old Town East Civic Association
let me
is
go
an
there on that.
otherwise known as OTINA. Hello to all my OTINA friends, Candy. I love you, baby. But you know, when you look at all these organizations, its boundaries have expanded.
But let me
and has
talk about Old
expanded
Town
and has
East,
expanded.
Are
know
you
them-
saying, wait a minute, this is supposed to be kind of like a haven for those folks who have sexual orientation issues? Is that what you're implying?
I don't know that.
Well, you implied it.
I don't know what
You
goes
ain't
on.
slick.
I don't know
Okay,
what
but look,
goes on.
where'd you
in
get
their
that bow
homes,
tie from anyway?
Well, you know, but it's your
Khari,
cause.
I need to get it on this conversation.
on. Go ahead.
Let her
Jump in.
About Old Town East, you know, that's a civic group that controls the Near East Side. While you have the Near East Area Commission, the East Side is broken down into districts, District 1, 2, 3, 4.
How could they control?
Because we don't have a strong Near East Area Commission.
Oh.
For example, the commission should have been speaking out on Pondexter. They should have been speaking out on Carl Brown IGA. For sure, they should be speaking out on St. Paul.
What should they have said about
Stop
Pondexter
it.
Village?
They need to stop it.
Wait. I
You
was
get
at
on
those
that one.
meetings. They stopped it, but it went on anyway.
What do you mean?
There was code words like done deal. I mean, I said on a meeting, before I sat in on the meeting, everybody said, it's a done deal. I said, well, before I started the meeting, I said, I'm not a rubber stamper.
So what did you want them to do with it? I mean, the place was ravaged, the place was run down. CMHA probably did a poor job of keeping it up. Hold on. Negro removal. Up next on Khari, Free at Last. Welcome back to Khari Free at Last on Bounce23 TV. I'm Khari Enaharo. Many community activists believe the Near East Side is being cleared of black people as if in a planned and coordinated effort. Is economic revitalization finally coming to the Near East Side? Or is this another phase of gentrification and Negro removal? Joining me is TalkTainmentRadio.com host Yolanda Robinson, Reverend John Coates, and community spokeswoman Nana Watson. Now, John, Negro removal. Good gracious sakes of life. Even though I messed Yolanda's, you always do S, that S kind of throws me off because I be thinking, you know what I mean?
I know.
S,
I know.
yeah. Anyway, okay.
Go ahead.
She needs it for something else. But anyway, Negro removal. Is that possible? Are they moving black folk out of the Near East Side?
Well, actually, according to a white developer by the name of Charles Adrian, he wrote a book called Our Town. And he says that that's exactly what's at play on the Near East Side. Now,
really?
You mentioned, it was mentioned before that black homeowners that possibly couldn't afford mortgages removed, but what about populations that pay rent and their properties are controlled by other entities like CMHA, and they are moved outside, not just into other areas, but outside of the city limits.
Remember, I was at CMHA when we did the Canal Winchester move.
Exactly.
And remember, all the Section 8 certificates pretty much flow outside.
That's right, but you also move.
So they're moving them out.
But you also move a potential voting block out of the area as well.
So what's happening is this is a part of a mass outward migration. Is that what's going on, Nana Watson?
Yeah, it is, Khari, and it's been going on for years. Nobody has taken a look at it. It's been going on with the Near East Area Commission, OTINA. They want to expand their territory. We tried to stop that many years ago, but they're too strong.
Is that why they came in and did Pondexter like they did? When alternative plans were put that could have kept Pondexter going, and now they're saying they want a mixed population use code for bringing back in other groups other than black people?
We even had someone that was going to purchase the whole Poindexter Village, and they
said no?
They said no.
Well, how come did the community stand up and fight it?
Yeah, there were
What
fighters.
did our leadership do?
Well,
what did they do?
Well,
Lady in red, what did they do?
Well, I was disappointed in our leadership.
Oh, John, what did the leadership?
Well, first of all,
who is the leadership? Who are the leaders?
Well, that's a good question. Wait a minute, hold on, John. Who are the leaders?
I'm asking you, who are the leaders?
I'm like Sergeant Schultz. I know nothing.
I mean, who are our leaders? Who are the leaders?
Well, we
I
know that the community leaders like Yolanda Robinson, they did rally the community. And they used the organized voicing for the community, like the neighborhood commissions, to speak out against this thing.
What did the black elected officials say?
They showed up at meetings occasionally.
We can all just stay quiet. We can all just stay
Some of them said no comment.
What?
Yeah, well, I mean, was one meeting where one of them said no comment.
How are you going to not have a comment? You elected to represent the interests of the people.
They're at large. They're not districts, so they represent
and
other
someone
folks.
said no comment?
You're talking about city council person then, if it's at large.
Who on city council said, call it out?
Well, no.
See, there you go. Elected officials not doing what they're supposed to.
One of them came out and said that they supported Poindexter.
What did the mayor say about it?
I have not heard the mayor say that he supported.
Did the mayor speak about this? What's his plan for the Near East
I'm
Side?
familiar with any statement that the mayor may have made about it.
Does the mayor have a plan for the Near East Side?
Well, yeah, I guess we can see it now. We've got Ohio State University, a partnership with Ohio State, CMHA, and the city of Columbus. That should tell us something.
What should it tell us?
It should tell us that the community is not involved or engaged.
But at every meeting that I attended, even the ones that were done by CMH, everybody wanted to save Poindexter Village, and they wanted a historical monument for Poindexter Village. But it seemed like it went on deaf ears. At first, they promised us houses, 10 buildings, and now we're down to 2.
So the most precious and most valuable land in the city of Columbus right now is the Near East Side. Is that what we're seeing?
That's what we're seeing. And Khari, I don't have a problem with economic development. I think that's great, but why would we balance it on the backs of African Americans?
Or why do you think that's happening?
Well, look at the Near East Side. We've got the condominiums there on Long Street, Hobo or Kojo. I don't even know what it's called. Then we've got the Whitney M. Young condos over there. So it's not geared for us. It's geared for those coming into our community because those that live there cannot afford
But on the
that.
flip side, when those of us had the opportunity to stay in the Near East Side, we fell for the okie doke and moved to suburban America. Moved out to suburban Columbus because we thought it was better living.
Wait a minute, you're accusing the so-called black middle class, the so-called black upper class of abandoning their people?
Yes, we wanted better schools for our kids. We wanted better schools for our kids. We wanted newer houses or what have you.
Oh, they bought that line?
We bought the line. And we moved, okay? So, and then others moved in. They rightfully brought the properties at discounted rates,
They
and
sure
now
did.
So
the
whose
value
fault
has
is
popped
it?
up. It's
Then
our
whose
fault.
fault is it?
It's partially our fault.
So why are we constantly following everybody else as opposed to stopping and building and redeveloping our community?
We've been hoodwinked.
Huh? Look at what happened in Detroit. Look at what happened in Detroit. All of the intelligence, all of them moved out, right? And left the community barren.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening in Columbus.
That is what's happening because, Khari, we don't have a commitment to our people. We allow elected officials to do just as they want. No one holds them accountable. You know, I suggest that if someone of our hue commits treason against the African American community, we need to call
that's a strong
them
word.
out.
Give me a definition of what you mean by treason. That's powerful. What do you mean?
I mean that if they haven't done anything, call them out. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do as an African-American male, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and you know what you're supposed to do for your people, and if you're not doing it, you've committed treason. You've turned your back. You've turned it over to somebody else.
Wow, that's deep. Do you agree with that, John?
Well, you know, we ought to hold people accountable. We vote for members of council. We vote for whoever the state representative is, and we need to make sure that we vote for...
But she said treason, John.
But we make...
John, you're being nice. You're being nice.
Oh, well,
that bow tie messing you up today. You're being nice.
Where I disagree at...
She said treason.
Where I disagree at is that these elected officials are answering to the piper. Okay? And unfortunately, we're not the piper. When you have less than 20% of those that are registered to vote, not eligible to vote, but those that are registered to vote, turn out to vote in the election, you're giving permission for a minority group of people to control folks.
John, she said treason.
I think it's...
You're talking about accountability. She said treason.
It's strong. It's strong,
yeah.
Because we have to hold ourselves accountable as well, and not just point to people who other people are feeding and funding.
Are you scared of the word treason? Are you scared of the word treason?
I'm not scared of the word treason.
Then why are you running from
it? It needs to be applicable.
Why are you running from
it? It needs to be applicable. The first way we can charge someone with treason is not to elect them.
Well,
but we don't use that power. We don't use that power, that influence.
I'll tell you what, she said treason. Treason is a powerful word.
It is a powerful word.
My goodness. Bought out and sold out. Up next on Khari, free at last. Welcome back to Khari Free at Last on Bounce23 TV. I'm Khari Enaharo. Where are the elected, the appointed, and even the anointed leaders who are supposed to be protecting our interests of our community? Have they been bought out, sold out, or are they fighting hard in the trenches to save our community? Joining me is TalkTainmentRadio.com host Yolanda Robinson, the Reverend John Coates, and community spokeswoman Nana Watson. Nana, have they been bought out, sold out, or are they fighting hard in the trenches, in the background, holding up the bloodstained banner, trying to make sure that justice is implemented? Which one is it?
They bought out and sold out, and there's no justice for none, and they're balanced. They are taking advantage of the African-American community. They're not doing anything. Yeah, they're pimping.
Oh, Reverend. She said pimps who commit treason need to be done away with. And you talking about, accountability.
No,
you trying to be cute.
They're not pimping. They're being pimped. And that means that they've been bought out. And they've been bought out because we have not been present and haven't made our presence known. So when we show no strength, and when others show strength, like the Titans, that's not an excuse.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's an excuse. If that's an excuse, you're just a frustrated preacher.
No, you're put in. Well, it might be that too. But you're put in there to show strength. That's why you're a leader. You're supposed to lead us, not capitulate because you're weak. Am I correct, Yolanda?
You're correct. You're correct. And we need to be making those people accountable.
That's right.
We need to have our agenda.
Oh, you weak too. Nana Watson said treason.
Well,
both
treason,
of y'all
we gotta make them accountable.
Find new leaders.
Both of y'all have moonwalked away from treason.
We need to find.
He's scared.
There's nobody moonwalking no more.
Yes, you are.
He's gone. He's gone over to the yonder.
Can I stand up?
He's gone over yonder, you know.
Okay. You know what? We need to call them out. It's just cut and dry. It's
Give me a drum roll.
If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, we need to call you out.
Now, what does that mean, call them out?
That means, okay, we've got people that just ran city council, state representative, Herschel Craig, councilman. We need to know, Herschel, what are you going to do? Because you represent my district. What are you going to do? And if you're not going to do what you say you're going to do, you got to go.
Oh,
and that's a fair question to ask any elected official that supposedly represents our interests. We need to find out if they represent our interests. But if you bring them up on treason,
that's a whole different ballgame. Nana's talking about bringing people up on treason.
I'm talking about put their face on the telephone pole and
say, the billboard.
You have committed treason against this community, and this is why, and you need to go.
You support that?
You said treat him like a sex offender.
No. Do you support that, Reverend?
I believe we should hold
elected
officials accountable. We should.
There you go. There you go. Don't be Michael Jackson on me. Do you support it?
Michael's dead.
Yeah, that's how you sound. She's running away. Do you support what she said?
I believe that we should evaluate them. And if they are found guilty...
Now, don't let him get away with that.
Have we? No, we haven't evaluated. No, we have not. Because based on the East Side, the people that you're even mentioning are continuously getting elected, re-elected. It's our fault.
Yeah, so we need to hold them accountable.
It's our fault.
Back in the day, we had a report card. Remember when we were in the Black Assembly?
No, I don't remember no report card.
We were in the Black Assembly. We had a report card. They got an A, B, C, or D, or even an F.
That's right. That's right.
We let the people know
that Nana Watson is talking about the big T. This is revolutionary what she's talking about. This is the big T, buddy.
But it's not totally responsible. How can we...
Oh, you calling them irresponsible?
It's not totally responsible. How can we castigate someone when we don't use the power of the voting booth?
It hasn't worked. It has not worked
because we won't go vote.
Well, that might be true, but if we don't vote, we still have to hold them accountable.
Not if it's a 20% turnout of those that are registered elected.
If they're not even up for election, hold them accountable now. Come on.
John, when Barack Obama's on the ballot, when Barack Obama's on the ballot, all the roaches come out to vote for. Everybody comes out and vote. But
okay, I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to select our own leaders and put them on the ballot. And then we all need to get together and vote for them. We got to stop letting the other folk say who our leaders are going to be.
You're a great leader, and that's why I'm going to vote for you for president of the NAACP.
I want you to do it,
We need district representation and not at-large representation on the city council. We told y'all that back in the 70s and nobody voted on it, but right now it's coming back to haunt us.
That's right.
We need a district representation
treason is really a strong word. And you said it, and I don't want you to back away from it, because that's how you feel.
I'm not.
But even though Reverend's moon sliding away from it, that's not how you feel.
That's okay.
Nana wants to take them out in the public square and flog them.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's absolutely right. I can do it.
Why do you want to do that?
That's an example of what happens to you when you commit treason against your people. Put a tie around their neck.
Give me, when you say treason...
I went too far.
Nana,
yes,
when you say treason is selling out your people for your own personal gain.
Yes.
That's what she's talking about, John.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is that...
Wait a minute, Reverend. What do you do when people sell out their people for their own personal gain?
What do you do? You ostracize them. You take them out of representation.
She says that doesn't work.
You remove them from office, and then you ostracize them.
Does that work, Nana? Would you accept that?
No.
Why not?
Because they need to be flogged. They need to be made an example so the next one coming will say, oh, if we do this, this is what's going to happen.
So what's the punishment for treason?
The punishment for treason, you leave this community and you are ostracized in a way.
So you're banished.
You're banished.
Yes, you're banished.
A form of banishment.
Just you go somewhere in a little room.
So what would be your criteria for treason? Give me some examples. Okay. Without calling out anybody's name, but just give me an example.
Again.
Again. Okay.
Now, nobody accused him of treason now. I want to make sure. She didn't say that.
No, I didn't say that he
No, she didn't say that at all. But anyway, go ahead.
Kershaw has not committed treason that I know of.
Right, she didn't say that. But she's talking about those who do. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, I'm thinking the Near East Area Commission. We need to put those commissioners out of office because they have allowed Poindexter to be where it is, no place. They need to be called out for St. Paul. They should have been speaking out. They're not speaking out
that's starting at the basic neighborhood level on up.
Yeah, on up. And
we need some revolutionary change. What's the plan to save the land? Up next on Khari.
Say it, Jesse.
Welcome back to Khari Free at Last on Bounce23 TV. I'm Khari Enaharo. Things are moving rapidly under the name of revitalization. What's going to happen to the Near East Side, and who will benefit from the changes? Can we stop this runaway train? What's the plan to save the land? Joining me is TalkTainmentRadio.com host S. Yolanda Robinson, the Reverend John Coates, and community spokeswoman, and that dynamic woman who wants treasonous people hung from the tree.
Thanks, Khari.
Hey, that was beautiful.
Now, there's a real strange fruit in the land.
Hang them up. No, string them up.
Hang them up.
Now, what's the future of Near East Side?
The future of the Near East Side is that it's lightening up. The future of the Near East Side is an expansion of Children's Hospital. The future of the Near East Side is an expansion of Columbus State. The future of the Near East Side is it's going to be a whole art district, and that's the future of the Near East Side. It's going to be like the Short North. It's going to be like Victoria Village. It's going to be like German Village.
What will Poindexter Village, Yolanda, look like in about 5 years?
I don't know.
What do you guess? What do you think?
I would hope that they would keep a museum.
We ain't talking about what you hoping.
No, I'm visualizing it. I'm praying for it. I want us to have a museum on Poindexter Village.
I said, what will it look like? There you talk about you praying and hoping.
They're talking about mixed income. They're going to be a senior building. Mixed
is that
income.
a code?
Yeah, mixed.
Code for what?
Mixed means
bringing in more of the gentry in?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Nana Watson, what will the Near East Side look like in about 5 years, 10 years maybe?
Won't look like us. It'll be different hues.
Think it's going to be that dramatic?
Yeah, it's going to be. It's there now. It's there now. People are moving. They can't afford it, so it's going to look like the other hue. So
we're talking about a wholesale change in the area. So as I said before, this is the most important property right now. You remember how Short North was about 25 years ago?
Yeah, I remember how it was.
Remember how they had the Short North gang in there?
It was flushed with prostitution,
half
gang
of them was
activity.
FBI, we now know, or DEA. And then they used that as a way to move out the folk who were there.
That's right.
And now you can't even get up in there.
Exactly.
Is that what's going to happen to the Near East Side?
That's what is happening. It has already happened. It's already happened. We saw the documentary on PBS Flag Wars over 15 years ago. That was just one aspect of the gentrification that's taking place on the Near East Side. It's complicated and it's expansive.
Wow. And so what we're looking at is a totally transformed area. Will black people who are currently there be the beneficiaries? Who will make the money off of this?
There will be a handful.
It's not going to be the people that live there. It's going to be the developers. It's going to be those that are building the condos, that are going to be bringing, retail shops. We are not going to benefit from it. We're going to assist because we're going to be purchasing. If they have a store. How do we make sure, how do we get on top of this runaway train? How do we deal with this? We have to call people out and say, you need to bring the plan to the community and we will endorse it. And if we don't endorse it, it doesn't go. So we need new leadership too, don't we? Need new leadership. We need some new people.
And also, if you're looking at moving into a new home or buying a home, you need to look at the Near East Side. You need to consider moving back into the community for the same reason why white people are moving in. The infrastructure development.
They're not going to come back until black folk, black middle class and upper class ain't going to come back until black people are moved out.
That's right.
Because they want that kind of mixing. And that's what they're gonna go. That's what they're gonna go with. It ain't so you can just forget these little pleas. As long as black folk there, they ain't gonna come.
So therefore, we should look then for the selling of more churches as well in Atlanta and Washington, D.C.
So you want the sale of St. Paul AME stopped?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course
it needs
so,
to
but
be
it should have never
You're
happened
right,
in
John.
the first
You got a
place.
wellness center there. You got great facilities
I
there.
still can't understand how an established church formed a CDC.
Well,
or
how
didn't
come
form a
the
CDC.
larger black churches haven't spoken out?
Well, I can tell you this, my minister has spoken out. The other ones, I don't know.
Why have they been so silent? Because
think
they know about the plan?
Well, first of all,
I tell you
preachers
what,
are speaking out.
Thanks to TalkTainmentRadio.com host Yolanda Robinson, Reverend John Coates, and community spokeswoman Nana Watson. And thank you for watching Khari, Free at Last.